Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. Exie is here already. How are you, Exie? Great to see you right there. I'm so glad you made it. It's Tuesday, my new Inktober52 day, Tuesday. I hope you're doing well. I hope your week has been going well so far. I mean, it's for you, it's Wednesday by now, right? Or it's getting close or something. But it's actually kind of nice having Monday to plan my week and stuff. And then starting my first live stream on Tuesday. It does kind of bother me. It's not evenly spaced out anymore, but still the same time of day. So yeah, it's Tuesday. We're going to do Inktober52. The prompt this week is slice, the official prompt. So I've got some reference photos of a person holding a slice of cake, like a human holding a slice of cake. And then I've got this great reference image of a sparrow facing the viewer. And so I'm going to make a sparrow gryphon holding this slice of cake, and that will be this slice. Oh, good. Exie says it's going all right. Thank you. How is yours? Yep, it's going good. It's sunny now, but yesterday and earlier today, it was like all rainy. Well, I guess it didn't really rain much today, but it was cloudy. So it's been like the best weather recently. I went on a run yesterday morning, and I was just totally soaked with the rain, and it was just like the best run ever because I love the rain so much. So yeah, my week is going good so far, and like I said, having the Tuesday live stream is so nice because I don't have to worry about that Monday conflict anymore. And then now Monday is just like, my two big things are plan out my week and work on my anime cookbook. So it's going good. All right, so for anybody who has not seen one of my my Inktober52s, this is my sketch kit that I use, or drawing kit. And I've been thinking about it, but I think after this year I'm gonna switch it up. So when I do next year's Inktober52, I'll switch up this kit. But this will be for the rest of the year. This has 10 different items in it: 5 mild liner double-ended markers and 5 fine liner pens, and the caps indicate the colors. And that's from Zebra. Brand Zebra. And then the official Moleskine Inktober sketchbook is the sketchbook I use. And then a couple more Zebra items, some brush pens, and the capped end is the same size. The small end on the red one is, or the other end on the red one is a small size brush pens. Black ink brush pens. And then a pencil and a pencil sharpener for the sketching at the beginning. Okay, and then also for anybody who hasn't seen one of these before, I use not only the prompt, which stays slice, but also I have the theme of griffins, because I'm using this as an opportunity to practice drawing griffins for my novel that I'm working on. I'm not to the stage where not to the stage where I'm going to illustrate anything yet, because I got to get the story down good first, and then I'll illustrate it. So I'm just practicing through Inktober52, because I want my interior illustrations to be ink, because that's easier for printing, and I can make more faster, so I can have more illustrations in the book. Okay, so I'm going to open to a new page, put it so that the highlights from my lamps are mostly covered. As long as I'm looking. They always get uncovered, but I try to keep that in mind with this shiny, I think it's a vinyl table cover that I've got here. Okay, so first let's do the sketch. There's a little bit of black ink on here already. Okay, yeah, I think this is still sharp enough, so I don't think I need this today. And let's see. So the reference image I have of the human with the cake, I think I'm just going to make it fill up this space because it's a mostly up and down image. So I'll just do it on one side of the spread this time. So let's see. But I got to remember, I'm turning this human into a griffin. But the overall, like the super basic, like a circle for the head and Then the sparrow is so cute because I have the human is right here on my screen over here, and then the sparrow is here. The human is, as you'd expect, the head goes in, and the neck is smaller, and then the body comes out. The sparrow is like, whoop. It's just this oval shape, so that's a different thing. That I've got to make the head connect from the top all the way down into the shoulders to make it a sparrow. Okay. And I also love the sparrow has a little tilt to its head, so it's super adorable. So I'm gonna include that. And this is just the basic shape. So the beak is kind of a triangle shape actually. So I'll put that. And then the eyes are right next to the beak, not above the beak. So like that. Oh, this one needs to come up higher. There we go. So here's the super basic sparrow head so far. And then, so let's see, the table is actually pretty far down, like right here. And then there's the cake. Oh, that looks so good. I want this cake. I want to eat this cake. Super basic shape for the cake. And then it's also on a stand. It's the same kind of oval shape but bigger. And then it's got like a curve. It's curved down, so there's also this like curve underneath that you can see for the cake stand. Okay, now I'm just evening it out. Okay. Though it goes out a lot farther on that side. Hold on. That's why it's a sketching stage, because you just keep sketching until you get it right. Okay. That's probably good enough. And then there's just like a nice little triangle. What is it called? A cone shape? Yeah, a cone-shaped base. I was like, what is it, a triangle when it's a cylinder? It's a cone. I forgot a name of a basic shape. I remembered it. Cone-shaped. Okay. Alright. Super basic cake shape, plate shape. But there's also the slice has been taken out, and it's been taken out at that perfect angle so that you can see the inside of the cake where it's been sliced. Okay, so that's where the slice is coming out. And then the actual slice of cake is pretty much straight up above it, like it's just being lifted straight out. Alright, hopefully that looks like it fits. Like it fits in here like a puzzle piece. And then you can't really see the sides very much. Here's another part where I gotta turn it into a gryphon. The human has their finger on it with this sparrow. I love this reference image I found because it shows not just the face but the feet really clearly as well. So there's only 3 fingers in the front and then there's one in the back. So to hold the cake, I think it'll be 2 fingers curled. So ignore my pinky, pretend there's no pinky. The back finger is holding the 2 and then the 1 finger is holding the cake. That's how I'm going to translate it into a griffin's finger. So, and then these ones will just be curled. So yeah, you won't even see that back one much, I don't think. Oh, thank you very much. Exit says it's already looking great. Yay! And there's just super basic shapes. Just ovals and squares and triangles. I do need to keep an eye on the time. It's only been 10 minutes, but I love cake, so I feel like I am at risk of doing too much details. Okay, so here's where I'm going to use my imagination a little bit. I can see the forearm part of the bird, but then the upper arm part, which is actually the bird's lower leg. Yeah, I think so. Well, anyway, we won't think about it that way. It's a griffin now, so the upper arm is actually hidden beneath feathers. So I think I'll just mostly do that and just have this be all fluffy, just like the reference image I'm using, and have it just fluff into the lower, the lower arm. And then that way it'll have a nice seamless, because the reference image, the arm is down of the bird. In the reference image of the human, the arm is like up like this, holding the cake. Okay, other hand has the little serving spatula, and the neck comes up a little bit like this. Okay, and then so we got to do the other hand. And again, it only has 4 fingers, so no pinky. So how would it hold a spatula? Yeah, maybe like this. So 2 fingers grabbing it with the back finger, pushing on it, and then the index finger guiding it, like guiding the direction. So that would put the index finger right here. And it just looks like there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it seems like for this bird, the middle finger has 2 segments, but the index and I guess the pinky finger have just 1 segment. Okay. So that would be like this. And then, okay, I'm gonna use my imagination here. This is guiding it, but the other ones are curled around. Okay, so wait, how was I doing it with this? Let me look at that. No pinky. Pinky doesn't exist. How was I doing it? Oh, like this. Ah. Okay. So they should just come straight down like this, I think. Okay, good. Whew! I don't think hard about this. Okay, here comes the rest of the hand. And then the underneath, this is what I cannot see like the equivalent of the thumb at all on this bird. So I'll just use my imagination there to just draw a little thumb and a little claw, and that's probably good enough. Aw, I'm getting excited. This looks pretty cute. Okay. The sparrow has a pretty flat head, actually. It's not like round, it's kind of like, it's like a flattened oval shape. And then there's a little fluff coming out that way, and then there's actually surprisingly big fluff coming out this side. Okay. It's so cute. This reference image is so cute. Okay, and then so we'll bring it down just like with the last one. So let's see, the forearm comes back this way, and then just like with this side, I'll just make it a big fluffy thing that comes down. You can't see the detail of the elbow or anything. It's hidden in all the adorable fluff. Okay, so I'm imagining that this griffin is like standing up like a human. So it's around maybe the belly button point where it would start to be not feathers and start to be the fur. And I was just going to make it a house cat because that is the thing that I know a lot about how to draw. If there's any animal I've drawn a lot, it's a house cat. Oh man. Okay, and let's have the tail come up to show that it's a house cat. And it's going to be it's going to be inspired a lot by my late cat bear with his he had this huge fluffy tail like a Norwegian forest cat. We never got his DNA tested, but I think he was part Norwegian forest cat. Because he also had the fluffy paws with so much hair growing out from, like his little paw pads. And he had super long hair. Okay, this is going to have to go on to the next page, actually, because I want to make this tail fluffier. Must be fluffier. It makes it look like a squirrel, actually. That's okay, though. Whatever, it doesn't really matter what animal it is. It's a gryphon, so it's a new animal. Okay. Okay. So let's see. In the picture, the reference image of the cake cutting, they have like a jar of flowers, and that's cute, but I think I will just put a stack of plates instead. More practical decoration. This Gryphon is about to serve this amazing cake for dessert. And we'll have a... Ooh, no. I was going to have a bunch of forks, like just laying down. I'll make put a little cup. Put the forks in a cup sticking up. Oh, Wolf is here too. Welcome. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me on a Tuesday. Wolf's a squirrel with a bird beak mask. Close. It does look like a squirrel, doesn't it? I was like, I'm gonna make it a cat. Nope, it becomes a squirrel. It's a sparrow. Once I put the details on it. Okay, so I'm gonna add just a little cup meant for holding the dessert forks. And then we'll draw some super basic forks. Nothing fancy. And I drew 4 plates, so I'll put 4 forks. And one of them is going to be facing, so most of them are facing forward, but to make it more interesting, one of them is going to be looking at it from the side. Okay. So I guess let's see. I want to start adding a few more details. So I need to move my monitor a bit. I gotta move stuff a little bit because this light on this side is blocking my picture of the bird. There. That's better. Okay. So let's see. The basic shape is a triangle, but it's actually a much more complicated shape for the beak. So the tip of the beak is right about here, and it curves up on both sides to the corners of the mouth. And I'm going to give it a little smile, little anthropomorphizing by making it a tiny bit human anatomy with a smile. But this illustration is for humans, so I think that that's okay. And then the bottom of the beak is actually kind of a square shape. It's so interesting. It's quite square. Okay, and then it comes up to a rather sharp point at the top. And round toward the outside. I want this to be like, would you like some cake? I can't really tell. I'm trying to figure out where the nostrils are on this beak, but I think that the directly to the front angle that I've got the reference image, you just can't see them. So I guess I won't draw any nostrils. So I just do not see where they are, so I'll just let that be. And then, so the eyes have some tiny little eyelashes. Or at least it's feathers. But I like the eyelashes idea. I think that's cute. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. And then you can barely see the irises. They're dark brown. The way the eyelashes are going makes it look like it's kind of like, I dare you to eat my cake. Now the smile is a little bit, has gotten a little darker. That's okay. Just let it be. Everybody can interpret it however they want. Okay. And there's these lovely little feathers sticking out of the chin area. Different from this sort of rough feathers that are like rough as in R-U-F-F, not rough as in R-O-U-G-H. And just do little squiggly lines to represent these feathers. It doesn't have to be super detailed. We're working on the shape of the tip of the beak. I would like it to be a little bit more narrow. Whoops. Hitting my stuff with my book. Okay. Just a little bit more tapered. Yeah. There, that's good. Well, here's the face. Simplified, sort of cartoony. I don't think it's focusing on its own. There we go, that's better. Alright, so I'm happy with the face. The rest of the details work out with pencil. Basically the cake. And yeah, these plates need a tiny bit more work. So I'm just going to copy this cake, which is it looks like an ice cream cake, actually. It's got like maybe some buttercream style frosting, then a layer of chocolate, a layer of ice cream, maybe layer of chocolate, layer of ice cream, layer of chocolate. And then there's some fruits decorating the sides, so add some little circles just to be random fruits. Okay, so drawing the same frosting. And then it was chocolate, ice cream, chocolate, ice cream, chocolate. Now I've got to shore up the shapes a little bit better. Can't be too sketchy or it'll look like a wonky cake. Doesn't have to be super precise and perfect, but just enough to be like, okay, that shape is probably what it looks like, a whole item. These lines make sense. Okay, so there's going to be a bunch of random circles representing berries on the cake here too. And I'm gonna try to do some bigger, some smaller, and I'm gonna stop right there and start doing these ones on the front half to make sure that they go in front. Because of perspective, they should go in front. So if I draw them first, then they'll look like they're in front. There, that's good. Just some random berry shaped circles. Needs a strawberry. Well, I think some of these could pass as strawberries. There's definitely strawberries on the actual cake. I want this. I want this cake though. Oh, that's a cute idea. I'll do that, especially because it's a gryphon. Oh, Wolf says I was too early. Wolf says a couple twigs for decoration. Yeah, I love that. I've been, yeah, man, I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it right now. And how about, so I got like a twig, but then how about like a sprig of some sort of evergreen tree? Like a couple of them. Or maybe not even an evergreen tree, like it's a mountain, what is it called? Like rosemary or something? We have some in my garden that my sister planted. I think it's called mountain rosemary or something. There. Haha. Nice. That's not in the reference picture. Good idea. Oh yeah, I need to do details on the hands too. Okay, so I'll draw this little claw is holding the cake on. And then these fingers are curved in behind the cake. And this is like the palm of the hand. And then the super thin little arm going into the feathers. So one, and then this one is the index finger, so it'll have a little claw coming out. And then these are gripping the spatula. And then this is the thumb curving around to hold the spatula. And once again, just a couple lines to represent the arm going into the fur. Okay, and then just these plates need a little bit more work. Okay, that's probably good enough. So pretty. Yeah, man, you should see the actual cake in the reference image. It's got like cherries in it, like the cut through, and there's like actual cherries in it, and it's got to be ice cream or something, or else that's a ton of frosting. It is like a 5-layer cake. Man, I love cake. First I thought of doing pie, but then I saw this cake reference picture and I was like, oh no, I need to do this one. Oh. Yeah, that's perfect, because that's the reference image kind of looks like for the human holding the cake. Looks like kind of like a mom or I think it literally was named Housewife Serving Cake or something. But yay, glad that came through. Wolf says, look like a mama griffin. Tired of all the kids begging for cake the whole time. Especially if you can imagine little like baby bird style griffins and they're like beep 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 beep, and what they want is cake instead of what a bird would normally eat, like a seeds or something. No, they want a cake. Put the cake in my mouth. Beep beep beep. I love these fun things that you help me imagine. That's a funny image. Baby griffins. And since they're griffins, they probably jump up and down like little puppies or kitties too. The front part is like a bird, beep, 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 but they're jumping around like, romping around like a little kitten or a puppy. I'm just going ahead and using the large end of this brush pen to ink, because we only have half an hour left, and I feel like I always end up running out of time. So if I use the large end, then I can get both small and large lines all from the same pen, so there's not a bunch of time spent changing tools. I can't get quite as small lines as if I use the small end, or at least not as easily, but I think the exchange is worth it to make sure that I don't take too long. And this is good practice too. I did the line how I wanted to on this eye, but then I ended up pushing too hard on this side, and so it's a thicker line. So that's just something to... It's nice to do it and be like, oops, because then when I go to make the actual illustrations for my novels or for some other bigger project, then I'll be like, oh yeah, I did that once, so I want to remember to avoid it. Okay, now let's do these hands, and this is where I'm really going to try to get as thin a lines as I can for the claws. So I'm almost holding the brush straight up and down, the brush pen straight up and down. I don't know if it's loud enough for the microphone to pick it up, but Aoife's having some sort of dream and she's going, whew, whew. My big dog, Aoife. Oh, thank you. Wolf says the eyelash over the left eye is great. I'm pretty satisfied with those. It didn't really focus, but that's okay. Because there's not really eyelashes on them, but for some reason, and I've noticed this with my pigeons too, for some reason the feathers sometimes grow out like that. The little tiny feathers will grow out and they look like eyelashes. Okay, spatula, I gotta line up the lines so it looks like one long piece, even though I'm inking in separate pieces. And then here's where there's the back claw, so another thin line, want a thin line there. Okay. And on the edges of the cake, I'm going to try not to get too sharp of lines because the cake is always such a soft thing. You shouldn't have a really hard lines, not like a box. There's always those organic little variations happening. And for these inside layers, I'm going to do actually some like dotted lines to show the texture and how it's like, you know, it's not that super hard division. Like if this is an ice cream cake, there would be some ice cream going up into the cake and stuff. So that's what I'm doing there. Okay, so I'll start with the frontmost berries on this. And now I'm going to actually try to make sure some of these look like strawberry shapes and not just circles. Ooh, and I realized I'll do a little bit of like dotted looking ones, and those ones will be like blackberries or raspberries or something. Put a strawberry right here on the middle with these twigs of I mean, they could either be, maybe they're both. One of them is a twig of an herb, and one of them is a twig of an evergreen tree. We have both. And this little, just a cute little stick for the aesthetics. Okay, and here's the frosting where it's been cut into. And just like with the slice above, I'm going to try not to make it too square. Make it nice and round, the edges. Okay, I think I got everything. Maybe one berry showing behind there. Yeah, okay, that's good. All right, now for the platter. Cake platter. Now it's actually kind of looking a little bit off center for this stand, so I extended that a little bit. It still might be a bit off, but I think it's not that big of a draw for the eyes, so I think it's fine, but just try to get it a little bit centered under there so that the cake feels like it is going to be supported. Okay, little supporting elements, plates, forks. Oh, my lines are getting a little wonky on here. That's okay though, it doesn't have to be perfect. Woo! Okay, the forks I am going to, it's so small, I'm going to go to this fine liner because they're really, really, really tiny. Compared to everything else. Really small details there. Ooh, okay. Done with that. Back to this one. Need the rim of this cup going around the back. And a line indicating the edge of the table. Okay, now just some fun, fluffy fur lines. It really does look like a squirrel. Squirrel with a really long tail. And I'm using my fingers to hold the page down because it keeps bouncing up and then I don't make exactly the kind of line that I was expecting to make. So hold the page down so it doesn't move so much. Thank you. I've been trying to keep my eye on it. Wolf says, doing well on time today. Yes, it's going to be nice because I should have time to do some details. Man, I almost want to erase. I haven't been erasing this whole year. But I've still got 20 minutes, so I think that for once I actually will erase. I need to get my other drawing kit out. Because it's hard to add details when there's kind of already details, but they're just like the random leftover lines from the graphite. I think I won't erase super closely. I'll just use this. It's my kneaded eraser. Just do it once over and there'll still be some stuff left over, but it's just to kind of clean it up a little bit. So that I can see where I want to add details. What kind of details. Oh yeah, I know where I want to make this cake definitely look chocolate. It's chocolate in the reference, and chocolate is my favorite. What's everybody's favorite cake flavor? Everybody likes chocolate too? Actually, I won't be surprised if not, because I actually encounter a lot of people don't like chocolate so much. Maybe it's because lots of people like chocolate and now everybody's tired of chocolate. I'm not tired of chocolate. I'm never tired of chocolate. We've been eating for dessert the past week or so. These like double chocolate cake Oreos or something. They have 2 different kinds of chocolate frosting in the middle of the Oreo. It's so good. Oh, I remember it's called blackout cake. Ooh, but lemon is good too. Wolf says lemon. Lemon cake. Ah, yeah. Nice choice. Lemon. Like if there's lemon cake and there's chocolate cake, I just always gonna pick the chocolate cake. But if someone is like, I'm having lemon cake at my birthday, I'm like, yay. Oh, and this one time I made a lemon bundt cake. And it had like a glaze on it, and it was so good. Oh, Exie doesn't even like dessert. There, see? I knew it. Oh. Exie doesn't much like dessert. That's actually probably for the best, though, because most desserts are not very healthy. Alright, done with this drawing kit. Put it back. Wolf says, oh, I'm having the diet. My favorite. Oh, what? Lemon bundt cake with a delicious glaze on it. It's so good. So let's see. I'm going to use the small end of my double-ended brush pen to do some, well, it's basically stippling, but it's using a brush pen so they're not like perfect circles. But this is how I'm going to create the chocolate layer. And that way it'll have a cake texture. And then it'll be darker so it can be assumed that it's chocolate or some other really dark colored flavor. Maybe coffee flavor. Coffee flavored cake is a thing. Although a lot of cakes that I make use like espresso powder or chocolate powder or coffee powder in with the chocolate to enhance the chocolate flavor. It's interesting. Oh, I love them too. I don't remember if they make any vegan ones, but I've had their cakes before. Wolf says a place here called Nothing Bundt Cakes. They make the best. Has cream cheese, icing swirl in the middle too. Yeah, the one here. I wonder if they make any vegan ones, because that's what I want to eat, and I remember enjoying their stuff before I went vegan, and they had little samples that you could always have. You could just walk in and sample the cake. I get it once a year, so you always, that's your treat, your annual treat is the lemon bundt cake from the Nothing Bundt Cakes. Yeah, lemon was, so when I remember when I was a kid, my grandma made some lemon dessert. I don't remember exactly what it was now. But I was like, lemon dessert? Like, I guess my only experience with lemon had been lemonade, so I was like, blah. But when you put it in a dessert, it's even more sweet than lemonade in it. I actually tried it and I was like, wait, what? This is delicious. Okay. I think I got my chocolate layers almost done. This is actually making my bicep work quite a bit. my bicep on this arm is getting tired. Okay, there. Looks real good. Good job, little cat, sparrow, griffin. Oh, that's cute. Wolf says could easily get them more often. I just wait until my grandma gets me one, though. Aw, that's so nice. That's still a special occasion. She gets you one for your birthday or something? Let's see, what else do I want to do? On the reference picture, this spatula is black, but it's like a shiny plastic. So I'm gonna make the handle black, and then I'm gonna, for the flat part of the spatula, I'm going to do some hatching to show that it's reflecting light. And then directly under the cake, it'll just be all black because it's not reflecting so much light. And on the sparrow itself, there's a little bit of, no, in fact, it's so light I'm going to use the fine liner. But the sides of the beak have a little bit of, how can I describe it? It's like the beak is kind of a pinkish, peachy color, but there's like a gray in there along the sides, so I'm going to add that using some hatching. Man, it's so nice having the time to do these little details, because I think that it really makes the picture so much more interesting. And I'm using curved lines for the hatching to help bring shape to the beak as well. And then I'm going to do a little hatching that's not for the color, but rather for some shading, and then also to shape the beak. Down here. And then there's a little shadow coming out here where the beak is casting a shadow on its own body. And then let's do a little bit of texture. Lines to add the feathery texture to the top of the head here. In fact, I think that it's both color and texture happening on this sparrow that I'm looking at. Okay, and these eyes are very, very, very dark brown, so we'll add hatching in there as well. Here's how we're coming along in that face. Oh good, it focused. It's hard to hold it up and also find the button because holding it up blocks the button from view. So like feeling around, because it does stick out at least. The button sticks out so I can tell from the shape, but I'm like reaching blindly trying to find a button. Okay, what else? I think that in here will be inside of the hand, so I'm going to make this dark with some hatching inside of there. And just add some little shading. And maybe some lines so that even this teeny tiny sparrow has those same, like armory, like armor, what is the word, like scales. So I'll add a few lines to show that kind of thing. They're much thinner than the bigger birds. I'm more flat. yeah. Good idea. I mean, there's even some on this reference image I'm looking at. Wolf says could add some out-of-place feathers to make it more avian. Yeah, like there's just a couple just like sticking out like that. Like little fuzzy fluffs. Good idea. Yeah, we'll just add some random. And then this whole bird has got this, like, I think the bird has puffed itself up, like maybe it's cold, because it looks a lot like when my pigeons puff themselves up when it's colder. So I'm going to add more lines to show the puffy. And then we'll make them longer as it gets farther down because it's changing at this point on the body from feathered to fur. Oh, and there's also some feathers coming out, and you can see the eyelids underneath the eyes as well. No, I think it's good. I like to, I think, so Wolf says, not trying to backseat, let me know if I'm annoying at all. Especially on a practice drawing like this, like, why not? Why not try some different ideas? That's something that I missed from school. A lot of people were afraid of critique, and then definitely I was when I first started going to school, you know, because you feel like your art is you, and then you feel like you are being critiqued. But once I started thinking of it as, oh, people are giving me ideas to try. Like, this is free stuff I'm getting, like, cool free stuff. And so once I started thinking of it that way, like, there are so many things I do now that it's thanks to the critique sessions and people giving me their ideas. And that's why I like critique versus constructive criticism. Like, it doesn't need to be criticizing to be critique, because critique is like, this is working, this is something you could do that might work too. Like, it's all, there doesn't have to be any negative thing. It's just ideas. So, yeah. As usual, a long answer to your comment, but I don't mind trying new ideas. I think that it's nice. I think it's nice that you are, that you're helping me. I appreciate getting the different ideas to try. So right now I'm just adding a little bit more ink around the forks because they were looking kind of like ethereal, like ghosty, like they were not really existing or something. So I'm just adding a little bit of extra ink to help them feel more substantial. These plates are so wonky. That's okay though. Okay, let's add some hatching on the base. I want to show that, so the closer it is to the bottom of this platter, the more shadow there would be. There. And then let's see. So in the reference image for the cake, the lighting is coming from this side, so I'm going to add some more hatching on this side. So the cake is casting a shadow this way. And then, like, everything is so super well lit though in this picture. There's not even any really shadow on the ground. Like on not the ground, the table or the counter or whatever. So I'll just put like just a little bit of something here. Just to show this cake platter's got to be casting a shadow too. Even though in the reference image you cannot tell at all. Well, we've got 5 minutes. Oh, I just noticed a little spot where I've got a smudge. So maybe I'll just do a little cleanup with these last 5 minutes. I'm not sure if this is graphite or ink that I smudged. Well, it looks like ink. I'm so impatient. I just go ahead and move along, and then I'm like, with my hand. And yet, I love inking with physical stuff. I've inked with the computer before, but I much prefer to do the sketch and do the inking, or do the lines, and I usually do the lines in ink. And do that physically, and then if I'm going to do a digital image, then I will clean it up and edit it and color it and do all the things with the digital program. But there's something organic from the physical media that I really prefer. And part of it, I think, is that with the digital program, you can just keep doing it over and over and over and over and over. And I've had that happen where I'm just drawing the same line over. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. If I do it with ink, yeah, maybe it's not perfect and I can like thin or thicken it in the computer later, but it's not like I'm not redrawing it over and over and over. So sometimes it's nice to just let it be, and it doesn't need to be perfect. It just has to get the idea across. Now I'm going to add a little bit of hatching inside this cup. And that way it gives it a little bit more depth, and then the forks also stand out from it. Oh, so I've got a lot of nice texture on here, but this tail is not really doing much. So let's do some stuff there. I don't want the tail to stand out more than the gryphon though, so I'll try to keep it a little subtle, but I don't want it to be this like blank thing. I want the inside of the tail to have some substance too. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yay, that's good. Still a couple minutes. I'm gonna add let's add a little bit of, I'm gonna do some little dots showing that sometimes the top edge of the cake is showing and sometimes the berries are over the top. And then we'll do some tiny hatching on the larger berries to give them a little bit of shape. I guess this side of the cake platter has a little bit of shadow where it's coming around. Maybe a tiny bit here. All right. Less than a minute to go, so let's call it good. Let me write. Now this time I'm going to write the correct word. What is it? What is it? It's slice. It's slice. Inktober52 slice. Slice O cake. And then today is the 22nd of August 2023. Aw, thank you. Exie says, looks perfect. Here's the close-up of our cake serving sparrow-housecat gryphon. Delicious ice cream cake. With those lovely decorations. Thank you, Will, for that suggestion. I think it looks quite nice. Beautiful cake. We decorated the cake together. And everybody can imagine what kind of flavor they have. I want some cake. I'm looking forward to my cake Oreos tonight. Aw. I will, if that ever happens. Lexi says, if you're ever going to sell your art book, please let us know first. I will. Thank you. Thank you for that vote of confidence. I shall indeed. But it is exactly time. So nice. We got to do some details on this time. I'm so happy about that. What a great first Tuesday, Inktober52. I mean, officially not a rescheduled Tuesday one. So, with this new schedule, I will just be back tomorrow for Lucky Dip. So, hopefully see you then. Oh, you're welcome. Wolf says, thanks for the stream. You are very welcome. Thank you for joining me in the chat and giving me these awesome ideas and letting me know that your favorite cake is lemon. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, yes. I'm so excited. Okay. That is it for today. Hopefully, see you tomorrow. But either way, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching.